Today we will learn to hook this fox. Get these 4 threads in realistic orange color, and then there are gel eye suture needles and structural needles. First, let's hook the fox's head and take out our orange thread. It's true to love. The viewing tape line passes the little finger, then passes the index finger, and bypasses the middle finger to pinch this intersection. The hook stitch is inserted from between the threads to hook the thread belt, and the thread is wrapped counterclockwise to take it out of the coil belt. This is the first force of the force. Then we need to hook 6 short hook stitches in the loop and insert it from the first time. The person winds the thread out and then winds the thread in the opposite direction. The latter 2 coils are recognized. Then this is the first short stitch of the hook, the first short stitch. It has a V shape, such a V, and then we can put a cross buckle mark on it. This is the first stitch. We have to check 6 frames in it. Two, 3, 4, 5, V. After the needle is hooked, the coil is pulled closer, and then we take off the mark buckle and trigger it in the end of the first needle. The septum is inserted into this first mesh. Winding the thread counterclockwise and bringing it out, and then bringing it out through the latter coil. This is a pull-out needle, and then we wind the thread counterclockwise and bring it out from the coil. This is a lift-off needle of force. At the beginning of each turn, a stand-up needle must be erected. In the second turn, we add needles with 6 short threads. We insert the needle from the needle curtain just started and let the threads bring out counterclockwise. A short array, let's mark the intersection. There is also a second short needle with the same reel film, and then there are 5 human demons. Each needle film is an additional needle with a short needle, that is 2 short needles. Okay, 6 have passed, and then we have to take off the mark buckle. Make a lead in this needle wood. Take it directly over the back coil, and then set up a standing hook. The third turn, the third turn. The third lap is a short needle. An additional needle, or the needle in the needle eye that has just been triggered, has been wrapped around and brought over. This is the first short needle to be loaded with oil. The second real eye is enough for a family. Okay, so there are 6 groups in total. 1 short needle, 1 extra needle. One short needle, 1 extra needle. The last extra point, and then we remove the mark buckle and print a scar in this needle of the mark buckle. Set up another standing needle. The fourth lap is a short range without adding or subtracting. Just form a short array corresponding to the needle mesh, and you can hook it all the way. In the end, there are 18 short needles in total. You marked the first real seam just now, so that I can't make a mistake. You go this way until the end. Okay, it's over the end. We still have 1 stitch. Then take down the 7 buckle. Lead it in this shocking curtain. Stand up another air separation needle and hook it 1 circle. The lower circle is 2 short stops and 1 plus needle. First hook 2 short stitches, 1. Second, then construct a addition truth in the 3rd needle. In this way, there are 6 seats in total, and everyone can buy them by themselves until the end. If the division is clear, buckle the first button and buckle it with the first needle. Okay, we have purchased this right, and then we will take down this refueling purchase and trigger it in this anvil. Then set up a starting and leaving needle structure. The next turn is to hook 5 short needles first. 1, and then mark this. Three, 4. After 55 stitches are finished, hook 3 short stitches and add stitches. 3, and then hook 9 short needles. That 345 6, 7 VE. Just, and then 3 more homes anyway. Then hook 4 more short needles. 4, 4, and then take this no 7 down and lead it in this screen. Set up another earthquake, hook the next 1 turn, and the next 1 turn is a short stitch that is not hooked or added or subtracted for each stitch. There are 30 short arrays in total. Well, everyone will check it out by yourself until the end. It seems that the story has reached the last stitch, and then we have a shadow scar in the first stitch. Then take another turn off the lifting needle. Next turn, we need to change the white thread. When changing the thread, we have to pull it back and pull it back again to the place where we were just going to do the extraction. Bring the thread to it and hold it directly, and then take the other one off the needle. Then there is also a ditch of 30 short arrays that do not add to C. This keeps ticking till the end. Okay, we have told the last stitch, and then give it the first stitch to make India and Pakistan. And the long line cut off the orange line first. And then what? We need to put his eyes on his eyes. It's in the middle of this white and orange. Stitch 12, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90, 11, 12. Install it in this position. Another one. It is 5 needles apart from it. 1,245 is here. After you put it on, put the back cover on it. Let's decorate the back one. Okay, let's go ahead and hook the 8th lap. On the 9th lap, we first hook 8 short stitches. Then our half needle in the uterus is this half grid needle with the word way. Half needle structure inside this strip, 3. Then hook 9 more broken needles. Then adjust the inner half stitch and hook 3 short stitches. Then take 7 more short arrays. Make a print at the first V. The 10th turn is to hook a short stitch in each needle. A consensus of 30 short arrays. Just keep ticking till the end. And this right is finished with the company. Let's deal with it in the first needle. There are 5 short arrays in the next circle, and 5 short arrays are hooked first. Then hook 3 reduction stitches. The reduction stitch is to adjust the outer half stitch of the V shape. Adjust a total of 2 of this one to be complete. Then bring the thread over. Then wind the thread in reverse time and then bring the thread over. This is a simple one. 3 checks are required. Another one. After these 3 are simply hooked, hook 9 short pins. Then hook 3 short stitches and then 3 reduced stitches. There are still 4 short needles after the 3 9 scissors are finished. Then in the first needle out of Aichi, lap 12 words. We execute a pneumatic needle and hook 4 short needles first. Then there are 3 reducing stitches. Then there are 5 short stitches. Then 3 sets of keys are positive. Then there are 3 short needles at the end. After crying for 3 big years, let's show the silver in the first real scene. Set up another pneumatic needle, and then the 13th turn below is a short needle and a key needle. There are 6 groups in total. Construct a short needle first. Next is the needle cutting. Family by day, hook to the end a total of 6 groups. I can't finish feeling it, and then I'll be the first to pay out money like this. Pull the coil closer and then elongate it. Then we give it cheek cotton. Fill it in small amounts and many times. This, we can cut one for it. Pull over. Then take out our white thread and sink into the array from the first needle at the place where the 3 needle films we just hooked are not hooked. Bring this over. That T needle, and then pull at the second needle curtain. This is the second folding mesh with the wire coming over and then bringing it directly through the back coil. Lock 3 more needles, 123, and then still in the second needle mesh. Make a pull-out needle, and then make another pull-out needle at the 3rd needle. Okay, disconnect him. Then we hide this thread for him. Come from here, or go back here. Just string it a few times without tying knots. Then cut this off for it. Similarly, the thread end here should be hidden like this. There is no same way, take this side out for it as well. So the 2 sides are enough to eat. The head is good enough. Next, let's check his body and wake up the needle. In the 6 short arrays in the groove of the circle, first set up a standing array and then hook 6 short needles. This is the same as the way to get up with your head. If you can't, you can go back and have a look. 6 needles. No, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, then tighten the coil and pull it out on the first mask film. Turn it down, Wiz. The structure is carried directly through the coil at the back. Hold on a minute. Okay, then another Chi Jen hook the second lap, and the second lap are 6 short-range stitches. 2 short stitches every weekend are always 6 sets. Then smear the silver on the first needle. In the third lap of the Licky earthquake, there is a short needle and a plus needle, a total of 6 groups. Such a short needle, 1 additional needle, a total of 6 groups controlled themselves until the final arrangement was finished, and then we still led them at the first main entrance. From the 4th circle to the 7th circle and 4 circles, there are 4 circles in total. Each needle mesh is a short needle that is not added or subtracted, and each circle is 18 stitches and 4 circles. That's all the way to the end. That reaches the 10th to 4th. From the 4th to the 7th lap, there are 4 laps in total. Well, the first lap of the 8th lap has been hooked and closed, and then the 8th lap is hooked. The 8th lap is 4 short stops and 1 reducing stitch. A total of 3 groups of hooks have to be hooked, and 1 standing stitch should be erected first. Actually 4 short needles. Then a needle reduction scissor skips the outer half stitch of 2 needles. 3 groups apart. Then in the first Zhengmeng silver bar, set up a pneumatic needle and start the 9th punch. The 9th turn is, the needle membrane groove is a short needle with no addition or subtraction. There are 15 stitches in total. We can cut this thread inside for it. After the food needle is hooked, take out the silver in the first needle. Then set up another lifting and leaving needle hook. The 10th turn and the 10th turn are 3 end stitches and 1 reduction stitch. 3 short arrays. As simple. There are 3 groups of hooks. The Last World. Then silver bar at the first subtitle. Then leave a long line. We give it with cotton. Sweetheart. Well, the body is fine. Our family come and hook her legs. Take out our brown thread. It's still the same way to pick up the needle and cut 6 short needles in the circle as that of the body, at the beginning. Then tighten the coil and lead it at the first needle. Key Lijan Lap 2. Good national security in the first real eye out silver. After this circle is finished, we will switch to orange thread. Well, the orange thread is placed behind it, and then a lifting needle is set up directly. In the third turn, we still hook 6 short blades that are not added or subtracted. Then we can put this. Cut off the brown one. After the 6 short lines are hooked, let's make a shadow in the first needle. Then the 4th to 7th turns are all 6 broken stitches that are not missing. The end of each lap is the beginning of the shadow bar, and there is a starting sound. In the next few laps, everyone can buy it by themselves, and there are 3 laps left until the 7th lap. 7 laps have been set by the public. Let's stretch the lengthening line to break it. In this case, we have to hook 2. And 1 more tick. Okay, 2 legs. We finished hooking, and then let's hook his arm. Let's take out our brown arms and legs first. The way we set them up is the same, except that they are 1 hole less flesh than it and a little thinner than the legs. We should still reflect deeply. In this real scene, build a standing up. Really hook 5 short arrays in it, which is 1 hole less than that leg. 5 short arrays. Anyway, it's still the same after hooking and tightening the coil. Print and pull at the first needle mesh. You have to take it directly through the back coil first. The first one starts from the true hook, and the second lap are also 5 short frames without addition or subtraction. After 5 public offices are finished, we give it this. Turn it over. Is this better? You can change the thread when pulling the lead bar wood, because we have to change the orange thread for the next turn. Directly use the orange thread to lead and mix it and put it at the back. Insert the first coil, pass the orange wire, and then bring it to the back coil, and then we tighten this brown one. The other lifting needle is good. Change it now, and then go to the fourth. There are 5 short stitches from the third lap, the fourth lap to the 8th lap. We have to hook it to the 8th lap in total. This one has one more turn than the leg just now. Your arms are a little longer, so you can hook it all the way to the back of the 8th lap. Everyone will know for yourself. Okay, 8,000th. We finished working, and then let's leave it a longer thread to break. This country also needs to tick too. Next, let's tell his nose, whether the nose is made of white thread or whether the introspection needle is used to form 6 short needles in this coil. Tighten the coil in shadow at the first subtitle. You have a strange sound, and day 2 is a short needle. A plus true. There are 3 groups. Then deal with it in the first subtitle. Thanks. Let's bring this line to the back. Well, his nose will be straight. Then we will learn to know his ears. This is really, Now go around the little finger to the index finger and then pinch the thread with the thumb and middle finger. Winding clockwise. Then hook this thread and bring it over. This is the first positive hook. Then we hook 6 locking pins. The locking pins are wrapped and brought directly through this coil. This is 2 to 3. 4, 5. 6 lock stitches, and then we go to the second needle from the bottom. This is the first, this is the second. Enter from here. First hook a lead needle. Then 3 short stitches. Then a medium length needle worker, needle wound thread is inserted from the needle mesh. Take it out, and now there are 3 coils on the hook needle. We wrap the thread directly through these 3 coils, and this is 1. Medium long needle, then give it another needle, and then break the thread. Then Gu Zhen started the first stitch of the hook. Enter from here. Then take out our orange thread. Put this thread in the back and bring it over. First lock it with a stitch, then 4 short stitches. After 4 short lines are hooked, 2 locking pins are hooked. Then on the top of this needle link, a hook, a pull-out needle. You finish hooking the needle, and then hook 4 more locking needles. Okay, that's enough for the ears. Leave the thread for it a little longer. Then we cut this thread at the back. Hide this white thread again. That's good enough. We also have to hook 2 of these ears. 2 ears. Now come on, let's hook his belly. The hook stitch belt thread goes around the stone, then pinch the thumb and middle finger clockwise to hold the intersection. Then pass through the coil. First set up a lock stitch, and then we have to hook 6 lock stitches. 2, 3, 4, V, 6, or go back to the second torture. Take 5 short arrays. Then we flip the pieces. Build a lockdown and then hook an additional needle in the first needle. Then hook 3 locking pins, not 3 short pins. Then leave this last needle mesh and construct another needle. Then say the flip straight again. Then from the 3rd row to the 5th row, each needle is hooked with a short stitch and each row is 7 stitches. After purchasing Fitness, you need to lock the winged man and then reverse it. It's the same reason as the standing needle inside the round one we provided. Well, take 1 lap. It's also neither added nor subtracted, short and true. In the legislation, flip again. By the 6th lap, we started with a reduction stitch. It's time to work him out. Then 3 short arrays. Then another keystroke. Lock again, turn, and turn again. Hook a short stop every weekend. Okay, then leave the head thread for stitching. His belly is good enough. Next, let's learn to hook its tail. First, take out the white thread or pick up the loop and hook 3 short needles in this loop. 1, 2, 3, then tighten the coil. It's not easy to pull his place in the first torture. You can do it slowly. Go. This is the first V. Let's print it in this. Then set up a stand-up needle and we turn it over. Okay, then let's cut this wire off. The second day, we purchased 3 short additional needles. The first Shock Murray Go Controlled family. There are 13 groups. Then shadow in the first screen. It's really enough to start from home. The third right of the third lap is a short needle and an additional needle. There are 3 groups in total. Construct a short needle first. Another family. Lap 4. The fourth turn is 2 short stitches and 1 additional stitch. Then print it in the first caption. Fifth shot, we're changing to the orange line. So we're going to rewind the shadow draw back to it. Use this orange thread to lead it, then set up a lifting needle and then tighten the white thread. There are 13 short lines in the next circle, and 1 additional needle is also 3 groups. Three short stops. The fourth is a parent. There are 3 groups in total. Everyone buys it by themselves. Then you can break the white thread at this time. The 5th lap has finished hooking and closing the other pickup needle, so we start hooking the 6th lap. The 6th lap is 1 for each needle. Corresponding to construct a transient. Consensus 15 short term. remove silver 8 in the first stitch. Then next circle is 2 short stitches, and 1 plus stitch and 2 short stitches are also hooked in 3 groups, capable of 2 short needles. Then one adds a needle, 2 more short stitches. 3 groups are checked in this way. Well, the 6,000th and 7,000th have been invested, and the 8th to 10th laps are a short array for each needle wood ditch. Each needle curtain corresponds to a short array. 1 lap is 18 stops. Please buy it yourself, knowing the 10th lap. Okay, we have finished the production on the 4th day. The 11th turn is 2 short stitches, 1 reduced stitch and 2 short stitches are also hooked in 3 groups, and 2 short stitches are hooked first. Then check a subtraction array, and frame subtraction means picking 2 needles for the outer half needles, then constructing a needle for it, and then checking 2 short needles. This is a set. There are 3 sets of checks in total, and everyone can check it by himself. The 12th turn is 3 short stitches and 1 reduced stitch, making a total of 3 groups. Three short stitches, then hook a minus stitch. Okay, so my group has passed 3 groups in total. Lap 13 is 2 short arrays and 1 shock absorber. Now take 2 short arrays, there are 3 groups in total. Fortunately, the first fell to the magic silver 8. Then immediately the air earthquake downs 1 circle. Let's put the tampon on it first, and then hook it down again. It's so beautiful. The next circle has been stuffed. We hook a short needle and a reduced needle. Construct a short needle. One more simple. This is also over 3 groups. Then shadow in the first needle. Make another standing sound. Next, in the 15th and 16th turns, each needle is hooked with a short needle without adding or subtracting, totaling 6 needles. Every turn is 6 stitches. Please eat yourself, everyone. Finally, it's all over. We stretch the thread and break it, leaving the foot thread for stitching. Next, let's start sewing. First sewing its nose. Its nose is at the 8th turn where this white is just seamed. Seal it together like this. Just like this, stitch on the top and stitch on the bottom. Put a stitch underneath. Then put a stitch on it. When sewing, be sure to adjust it in time so that it is in the middle position. After his nose was sealed, we began to stitch up his body. This place at the end of this thread of the body, which is connected with the silver and white needle at the back, is connected horizontally by the trigger needle we made and sealed from the back. This one-on-one stitch below and one stitch above is the same as just now. Next, a torture. There is a needle film on it so that it can be sewn correspondingly. And sew all the circles on it. Then we sewed a thread on its belly. This one is on its right side, so my thread was accidentally cut by me. Well, it should be a longer thread for sewing. Just sew it on. Put it around a circle like this. After the ears are sewn, we will sew its tail. Its tail is also around the 4th turn, and 102.34 is in this position. Just seal it one round in this way. Okay, the tail is also sealed. Finally, we inserted one of his nose and mouth, and we divided it into 2 strands with this black thread. There are 5 strands of thread inside. Then we split it into 2 strands to seal its nose and mouth. That's it, just sew out the nose at 1.1 o'clock. Alright, this little fox is ready.